So what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Destroyed by Humans. Today I'm sitting down with an artist who has been making serious wave in the electronic dance music scene, TENVIN. Known for his high energy sets, craft and for his crafted productions, TENVIN has shared the stage with Elif, Nambeh, and Sebastian Duarte. His sounds blends hypnotic grooves, deep textures, and driving persecutions, captivating auditions worldwide. As a producer, he's released music on labels like Radikon. Do you pronounce Renaissance?
Renaissance, yeah.
Renaissance, okay, and then Artminding. Okay, and his track has have earned support from top tiers artists like Argy, ANNETT Dovecity. Whether in the studio or behind the desk, his ability to push sonic boundaries makes him someone to uh, look for out in on 2025 this year. Tenbin, welcome to the show, man. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. How's Miami treating you?
It's treating me very well, honestly. Lately it was pretty cold, but I mean now it's back to
Right.
paradise.
Are you originally from Miami?
No, so I'm actually from Toronto, Canada.
Toronto. Oh, that's right. I did read that. Toronto.
Yeah,
Canada. Yeah.
so I was born there, moved down here like 2 years ago.
Okay. Cool, man. You know, did Sarah Sims on day before yesterday?
Yeah.
And she's from Toronto too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that come down from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was saying, well, one of the questions that I asked you, what was a like crazy request from the crowd or from the promoter to play, and she was like, probably some asking me to play some Drake music.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, he's like the god up there in Toronto.
Yeah,
Him, and then
usually.
he mentioned someone else. I don't think it was another rapper name.
Drake or The Weeknd, someone from Toronto.
Yeah,
For sure.
that's crazy, man. So you like the United States?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it so far.
Yeah.
I mean, can't complain at all. Really.
Right.
I just like really needed to get out of Canada. So
Really? Do you move for work or just because you want to be more related into the music industry?
I mean, yeah, I moved primarily to like focus more on making music and getting into that DJ scene down here.
Gotcha.
But mainly just wanted to get out of Canada. It all happened like during COVID. So
Right.
I don't know if you're like familiar with what happened up there during COVID, but it was like the longest lockdown in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's great. She
so-
mentioned that something like that, but I didn't know it was the longest one.
Yeah, well, in Toronto specifically, it was, and in the whole country, I mean, things just kind of got really scary. Everyone is kind of divided, and like the left and right are kind of at war with each other.
Really?
So
That's
now
crazy.
I just kind of escaped and came down here.
Damn. That's wild, man. I didn't know there was I mean, because, well, normally, I guess, what do you hear in the news that the Canada are like really liberal? Is that what you say?
Yeah, nowadays we are, especially because of like Justin Trudeau, who
Yeah.
was
He's
elected.
resigned, no?
Yeah, he just resigned. I mean, in March he's gonna officially step down.
Dang.
And then I don't know. We'll see who gets elected, but
Yeah.
like, just really needed to get out of that
Completely.
place.
That's
It
crazy.
was going downhill. So
No way, really?
Yeah.
It's good. You saying that because like as a business kind of thing, or it's just nothing to work on?
I
party,
mean,
nothing,
everything got so expensive, and
Really?
like you were working so much to like barely afford
it.
groceries or like rent. It just
Right.
got like, what am I really doing here?
for sure,
Not happy.
right?
Just like better to remove yourself from that
sure.
atmosphere.
That's crazy. Yeah. I guess just out of curiosity, what's a gallon of milk up there in Canada? You know, here it's like $1.
Yeah,
and
I
some
mean,
change.
I don't know. Nowadays, like my brother and my family, they're still up there. So my brother tells me like every week how expensive like his grocery bill is, and nowadays it's like somewhere between like $600 for like 2-3 weeks of groceries.
Okay,
And
damn.
it's like kind
That's
of crazy.
pricey.
I don't know what a gallon of milk is like precisely, but I gotta say it's somewhere above $5.
Damn. Yeah, it's pricey though. $600. I think I spend around like 150 maybe.
Yeah,
On
that's usually how it is here.
here.
Yeah.
And that's like weekly, and then maybe 120, 150. That's some of myself.
Mhm.
Me and the dog, really. Well, he doesn't need much, anyways. So, when did you start producing? Well, actually, when was your time when you said this is what I want to do for music? This is when I'll start producing and DJ and producing.
So it was pretty much right out of university in like 2019.
Okay.
I came back home, and my brother, he's older than me, he's 4 years older.
Uh-huh.
So he and my cousin
Mm-hmm.
were like always DJing in our basement, like playing sets, and I would always kind of be there like watching, seeing like, what is this? Why do you
Sure.
guys like it so much? And then it got to the point where I would go out with them more and kind of like recognize the music, fall in love with it.
For sure.
And then he just kind of taught me how to DJ, and the rest was history. It kind of just produced and produced and produced. from
Really?
then, yeah.
So he DJs too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he do you remember who's the your first, not, I guess not gig, but I guess your first rave, you can say it.
First rave was Swedish. He actually took me to Swedish House Mafia
Okay,
back,
cool.
I think, in like 2013 or something like that.
Okay. That's when they were cool.
It was like their huge world tour. Yeah, I think it was their last tour actually.
Was
but,
it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I honestly don't remember.
At
but-
one point they kind of like, do you know how who done this? That are like we splitting and parting ways, and then they kind of came back. Doing
yeah,
like
they go and do their own like
solo
solo
thing,
projects,
right.
and then they come back even stronger because everyone misses them. Even
right.
More.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good move.
Yeah.
No,
I mean definitely for the money.
Yeah.
It's always a good move.
What was it? Alesso,
Sebastian Ingrosso,
Sebastian Ingrosso?
and Axwell.
Axwell.
Yeah.
Dang. How was your first experience? Was it crazy?
It was pretty insane. Yeah.
Really?
I didn't really know what to expect. And I mean, I was kind of young, so I had a few Jaegers and Red Bulls.
Right.
And I was like on the moon. Like,
Right.
Really enjoyed it.
That's crazy.
And then after that, I mean, we went to see like Solomon, like a bunch of other big techno DJs like I Hate Models. Like,
Okay.
pretty much went down the rabbit hole of music
Dang.
and just kind of came back out, started producing.
So when you start, before you start producing, did you what was some of the first artists that you were looking out to, like, I like this kind of, because obviously the way you make your music that you make now, I mean, it's nothing close to Swedish House Mafia.
Yeah,
for
no,
sure,
it's
you know?
definitely not. And at the beginning, I'd say my influence was like very different than what it is now. Like when I first started and first got interested in this stuff, it was like more progressive, melodic house,
Uh-huh.
more like Anjuna Deep, trancey
Right.
vibes. And then it got more dark and kind of melodic techno afterlife style.
Okay.
And
yeah.
now moving down here, of course, it got more housey, more like bouncy,
Groovy,
party,
yeah.
groovy vibes. So it's kind of been all over the place. Now,
sure.
now I feel like it's much more influenced by like labels like Inner Visions, like where they're going right now.
Right.
Pretty much just like groovy house vibes.
Right.
But I'm excited to see where that influence is going to take me because I really never expected to end up here. Like I
Right.
was always more influenced by the dark and the like more trippy sounds.
Right.
But now like I really enjoy the style now. So
For sure.
just trying to integrate it into my sound more.
Do you say that you like more producing style, the producing side, or like the DJ side? Because there's guys who just like to just DJ, you know.
Yeah.
And there's guys who just like to produce, and there's guys who likes to do both. I have a friend, and he's Gabriel I. Shout out to Gabriel I. And he say, it's like some of the music that he gets because he has a big music label, Tenant Pop Recordings. He says sometimes that they get the music sent out, and then when he sees that the producer play it, it's not even close to. I was like, man, I can believe he's making this kind of music, but when he's connecting to the people, it's not like connecting really.
Yeah.
That's in your case, do you rather produce or like DJ or both or
I mean, I really love to DJ, don't get me wrong.
right?
Like the feeling that I get when I'm just connected to like everyone in the room and we're in
right.
the same vibe and like deciding what the next vibe is going to be like, I really enjoy that. But
sure.
as an artist, like creatively, I really enjoy the production side because
Right.
I feel like it really like gets to share like a point of me, or a
Right.
part of me, I should say,
Yeah.
where it's just kind of like the most authentic version of me that like there possibly can be. So
Right.
that's kind of what I like to do, is kind of be open and share what I like.
Right.
And yeah, that's why I would like production more
Gotcha, man.
right now.
Um, so if you have to describe someone your style of music, um, to someone that listens just gospel music, or if you want to go food reference, how would you describe it?
Hmm.
Food reference, I
So
think, is might be easier.
for food reference, so someone who like what likes like American food or
Uh,
like I
I
don't
don't.
know something comparable to gospel.
Either well, gospel is like if you want, let's say, like I'm just listening to gospel music only, and you're trying to this is what I play and everything. But if you feel like it's too hard, then you can make a reference on this type of dish. This is my music. I feel it's like kind of reflects on this type of dish.
Okay, I guess. I mean, I guess I would have to say like if it was someone who liked gospel music, it would probably be like electronic, like heavy metal nowadays. I don't know
Yeah,
how to describe it.
it would be hard to someone who uses gospel music. They just know gospel music.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be like a lot of electronic sounds
Okay,
compared to gospel. So maybe just like electronic
for sure.
music. Yeah,
How
that's
about
pretty
food?
simple.
Would
Food,
you? What's your favorite food?
probably sushi.
Okay, good. Me
Probably
too. Yeah.
sushi. I do love every single kind of food though, so I
Right.
can't really narrow it down to just that.
Right.
Tacos are like huge
What's a good
part.
spot here?
There's a few. So there's one that's kind of like a food truck in the middle of Wynwood. It's called Cheetos Red Tacos.
And it's sushi?
No, this is tacos.
Oh, okay,
I'm
okay,
talking
okay,
about
okay, okay,
tacos.
okay, okay.
And that's probably my favorite taco spot. And then there's
Really?
another one called Takin Tacos. It's a bit more like extra and gourmet, but
Right.
like those two are my favorites. For sushi, um, hmm, there's a lot of them. We go to this one place that's all you can eat in Aventura.
Uh huh.
That's called Mew Mew, or no, not Mew Mew. Something with Mew.
Okay. Like
Um,
at the cat mew?
yeah,
Okay.
something like that. But it's so delicious, and it's like $30
Really?
for like all
That's
you can
good.
eat. So it's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, I was gonna eat again well actually this afternoon. Yesterday I had like ceviche and then this morning I had like ceviche again and everything. And
That's
I
a
was
really
like,
good thing to have down here.
yeah, but I was like, man, I can't keep eating raw food. I don't want to get poisoned.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 3 days in a row, like 2 days in a row, and all meals. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. So I was looking at obviously when I did the Instagram dive in your pictures. Tell me about when, I guess what you felt, how you felt, and then did you send out the track to him, or how do you ended up with Argy?
Oh, so that was a bit random, I would say. I made this track with my colleague, Annette Gapstream
Uh
from
huh.
Berlin.
Uh huh.
And she kind of sent it out like right when we made it. Didn't really get much response.
Right.
And then a year or a year and a half later, she sent it back out to a few friends,
Uh huh.
and it actually got signed by Radikon. And
Right.
then in their promo wave, Argy just downloaded it and played it randomly. So
Dang.
it wasn't like anything direct, like, hey, here's my song, play
Right.
it.
Right. Well,
But
that's huge, man. You know what's I
yeah.
remember RG. I was trying to book him in 2021, I think maybe 2020.
Mhm.
So he was not the big name as he is,
Right
and I was
before he took
yeah,
off
yeah, I was
with,
this
yeah.
close to close the gig. It's just that when you're an agency that they really careful, or like they can tell that he's gonna blow out.
Hmm.
So I was not able to lock him in, but I was like, man, our RG is gonna be crazy good. Because I remember when I brought to Dallas, I brought Charlotte DeWitt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say how much was the fee, but it was low. Nothing
Yeah.
compared to what it's
Not what you
now.
would expect.
No, hell no, no, no. I mean, they actually sent me. She was even a London something agency, and then I mean, really, they got locked in and signed within like maybe 3 weeks. The gig,
Oh, shit.
maybe even faster than that. And I was looking at the invoice now. I was like, man, that's wild that she. Obviously, it's cool that she played down here because I was the first one to brought it into Texas. Really, I think it was one of the. It was not even her first tour because she played in Texas, in Dallas, and then she played in New York
Mhm.
for the what was it, lap? Was a mix mac lap? I think.
Yeah, yeah, mixed
Yeah,
bag. Yeah.
so that's crazy, man. So do you have any obviously I'm sure you have a lot of music in the works right now. Do you have any collaborations that you can share just yet? No.
Collaborations, not really. I mean, am consistently working on music with a few friends.
Uh-huh.
Sebastian Duarte, and at Gapstream, who I just mentioned. We still have a few things in the works. Under her, who's
Uh-huh.
another guy from Canada, who I just released on Renaissance with.
Okay.
Still have a few things in the works, but mainly right now I'm focusing on just an album.
Okay.
Like, I just want to make like a 10 to 12 track album,
Okay.
get my point of view across, see just how weird I can make it sound,
Right.
and go from there.
How many tracks you have done so
Right
far for the
now, for
album?
that, I'd say there's 7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
So trying to make it like finalized by this year.
Sweet, man. How long did it took you to go through those 7?
I mean, I've been doing the work or trying to do this for like 2 years now.
Dang.
I mean, people have been asking me like, "Oh, what's coming up next?" for like 2 years, and I keep
Right.
saying the album, the album. So
Right.
that's been my main focal point for a while. Like ever since I can really imagine starting producing, I always wanted to make like an album, be
Right.
like an album guy, not really just
Just the
a
EP.
single or an
Right.
EP here or there.
Gotcha. So when let's say, because I could imagine that it might be difficult for you because let's say I come in as a label, I'm sure you get that. Hey man, you have any tracks and you have those 7 tracks done, uh, you're like shit. I want to take a track out of the album and then just give it to them. That's how kind of how it works, or you felt that pressure before like that?
I mean, there was this last release that I had with Renaissance.
Uh-huh.
One of the tracks was taken out of the album, and
Yeah.
it was the most popular one on the release. So I mean, it
Really?
was a good thing
Oh,
that I
that's a
did
good
it.
thing then.
So yeah, it was a good decision.
Yeah.
But the other, so with that track, it would have been 8, but with the other 7, I'm kind of just like, no,
No.
they're mine. No one can
That's.
have them.
Do you have when you created the album? Do you kind of know where you're gonna send it to yet, or not really?
Well, I do have my own like little small label that I
Okay, yeah.
release on here and
I was
there.
gonna ask you that, but I didn't. I mean, obviously, I didn't ask you, but I didn't really find anything online.
Yeah, so it's like really small boutique. Don't really like try and like push it too far
Okay.
just yet because I don't really have like that big of a community.
Right.
But right now, just kind of collecting tracks from friends around the world, like what they're currently working on.
Right.
Had a vinyl release a few years ago.
Nice.
But mainly just kind of use it as a platform to share my own music
Right.
when I don't really want to share it with other people, like
For
other
sure.
labels.
Gotcha.
So I'm thinking that it's gonna come out on that label, but we'll see.
We'll
Like
see.
I'm not against sending it to another label, but
Uh-huh.
it just has to be a big one.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Yeah, for sure. Um, was your first your first track that you released, was it through your own label? No, right? Was it?
I mean, it was kind of more just like independent. It wasn't really
Not
through a
signed
label or
or
anything.
yeah.
It was just like on a random distribution platform online,
For
just
sure.
like that.
So how do you balance and maintain your signature sound? Do you or you stay and just focus on like more like melodic? Is that what you like to combine?
Well,
Um,
I really do like to combine like elements. Lately, I've been going more into house like
okay.
sounds, as I say.
Is that because
as I-
Miami?
Mainly because of
Yeah.
Miami, and I mean
You get an influence a little bit.
for sure the amount of times you go out here, like 95% of the time, it's house.
Right,
And
for
I'm
sure.
not against it. I really love it.
Yeah.
But lately, it pushed a lot of the melodic samples
Aside.
and influence out of the way.
Yeah.
But I'm still kind of trying to keep it in there, like maybe some indie dance influence, like
Okay.
something like that. But I feel like the industry, or at least this
Area.
area of it,
Right.
is kind of like moving away from that afterlifey sound,
Right.
going faster and more like intense. So
For sure.
we'll see.
I do like that. Obviously, I still like. So obviously, like I even got the tattoo in here. I can really hide
Yeah,
it.
I can see that. Yeah.
That's when I was. I'm still. Mm, maybe I'm die hard. Well, I guess I am. Towards the old sound, more like 2019, maybe
Yeah.
2020.
2018,
Yeah, so that was my
2017.
sound. So one of my favorites is that it was obviously is he's part of Afterlife, Recondite.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of
Yep.
my big influence. Even though I don't make any music, but if I'm gonna play something, it has to be something to like that. I guess he's really good on the
Very deep and
very
like
deep.
transcendental
For
sound.
sure. Speaking of that, do you have something? Because I can tell him on his tracks. He always kind of experiment with nature sounds. Do you have something like that? Do you start your music or your tracks?
That I like try to include in every track.
Right.
Not really. I mean, here and there, I'll try to include my guitar because that's like the one instrument I played the longest.
Okay.
But other than that, it's mainly just like samples or like virtual instruments.
Gotcha.
Nothing really like you have to have this in the sound in the song for it to be a TENVIN track. But over the years, I've kind of like developed this, I would say, like desire to make the tracks sound a bit weirder than usual. So I would say that I would kind of lean towards making it sound like less conventional, more like unique, if that makes sense. But nothing like specific.
For
like
sure.
I need to have this key sound or like a piano.
Right. Yeah, you have to kind of make your own imprint on your sound. Like reckon that. I mean, it's hard to get him confused with anyone else.
Yeah, for sure.
So I can see yourself doing that. One wish that I forgot to ask you: how do you come up with the TENVIN name?
So that's actually a pretty simple story. I played hockey my whole life growing up in Canada.
Do you saw Mighty Ducks?
Yeah, of course. That was like one of the first movies
Bro, that
we
was
watched.
one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, that and Miracle on Ice, which was like the story of the U.S. Olympic team beating the U.S. USSR. But those are my favorite movies by far for that.
For sure.
Like
so. Wait, TENVIN come out of that movie?
No, sorry. Kind of lost my track.
I was like, wait,
what? So I played hockey my whole life. My number was 10.
Okay.
So my Instagram was TENVIN, and people just kind of started calling me that, and it just stuck. So I just made it my name. Kind of like no meaning behind it whatsoever.
Were you a good hockey player?
I'd like to think so. I mean, good. I didn't make it my career, so I can't say that good.
Right. Were you?
I enjoyed it. I'll say
interested in doing? And when you were obviously used to a girl, you're just not that old. You're pretty young actually. But then, were you pursuing a hockey career at one point?
Yeah, I mean, everyone in Toronto pretty much is at some point in their life.
That's like part of your.
That's part of the Canadian culture.
Okay.
But yeah, I was seriously pursuing it pretty much until university. And then when I went to university, just stopped and said focus on school.
Right.
That's it.
Hey. So one question that well, not question, but I guess one thing that I've been told. Do you say Canada or something like what is that? What I can say
like
something?
Toronto or Toronto
Or something like that. Yeah.
That's the one.
I always corrected you.
Yeah, it's like some people say Toronto and it's Toronto. Like
is that what it is? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I've been correct a couple of times, so I'll just kind of say Toronto.
Yeah, I mean that's okay. I don't really care. Honestly.
Do you speak French too, or no?
I used to. Now it's just like bits and pieces.
Okay.
But now it's mainly just English and Spanish.
Okay. Oh, you speak Spanish too?
I try to.
No way, bro. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. I will ask you to speak Spanish. I'm not gonna put you on the spot.
Nah, no puedes hacer eso.
That's good. That's good, bro. That's good. I one time my corporate job. I used to be retail with the company, and then we had these girls who went and asked for apply, and we just got online, and she filled it out, and it was like at the email, and then I looked it up, and she said that she speak English and French, and I was like, oh shit. And I told my assistant manager, like, bro, she speak French, bro. And I was like, how cool is that? He was like, really? And I was like, that's crazy. And I was like, eh. So, I mean, we kind of start, well, I didn't start judging, but he started judging. Well, actually, we both did a little bit. But she came in for the interview and everything. So we did the interview and everything. And then, so I don't know really what he said to her in French because he knew French. And then she's like, oh, that was back in high school. We
Damn.
were like, what? And after she left, we were like, why the fuck you put, do you speak
Bringing up
French?
old stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you ask you don't know anything, you know. So I was like, that was funny. That it was just a funny thing that she said on. I guess she wants to get higher,
Yeah.
and then she just put that I speak French. So your music carries a deep emotional energy. Do you draw inspiration from your personal experiences?
Yeah. Pretty much since I started, I was always like focusing on like sharing what I'm going through at the
Uh-huh.
moment. Um, Back when I started, it was a lot more like dark stuff that I was going through. Like I was alone, going through life, like trying to figure out what I'm doing on
Right.
this earth. And nowadays, like I find a lot of inspiration from my son
That's what I was gonna tell you for
and
your
my
son.
wife. It's a lot of happy times these
Good.
days,
That's
so it's
good,
not
man.
like any darkness in my music anymore. But
That's why you start like house more,
yeah, I
probably.
mean, I'm happier. I'm in a better mood, so
For sure.
don't need to be in that dark state of mind anymore. But
Yeah.
um,
It's hard when you.
definitely does influence my life. Like the life does influence my sound a
For
lot.
sure. Um, I forgot. I watched this guy on. He used to do UFC or something, and he was saying about this dark times and everything. But he said that he went through a really difficult time, and the guy's interviewing him on a podcast, and he was like, "But why would you go through a difficult time? You were champion of the world. You had all this money and this
Hmm.
and that." And he was just he said that when you on his case, when you um hit that level of money or like success, then you had no more inspiration after that. And I was like,
Yeah,
that's weird that happens to the human. But I mean, I guess I never really been that. Well, I guess maybe I have, but I don't really like to brag about me. But when you hit that, that success and you're doing all this and everything, you get a little bit down as a little bit at one
yeah,
point. You have no more
probably
inspiration to
not really as motivated
motivation.
as you were
Yeah,
before.
right. So yeah, I don't know if you've seen the other guy that I interviewed, Dustin, the
Hmm.
93.
Yeah.
He I remember in the interview he said that I remember he opened for Rishi Hunting and he's doing all these big names and everything. He was like, bro, I think I reached my goal so quick, then I had no more inspiration, so I have to change my name. So he went to a different alias and then take it away from 1 year from electronic music. And I'm like,
Damn.
man, that's crazy.
Just to regain the
Just to
confidence
regain
and
the
the
confidence.
motivation.
Yeah, motivation. That's crazy. That's deep, huh?
Deep. Can't say I reached that point yet, but yeah, definitely deep.
Dang, man. So, obviously we talked about earlier the what's one of your more memorable gigs so far that you have played so far?
I would probably say my first gig in Toronto was
Okay,
in like 2020,
okay,
or sorry, 2019, right
2019.
before COVID.
Okay,
Or no, 2021. I can't remember. That whole 2 years is just such
yeah,
a
it's
blur.
crazy. Yeah.
I want to say it was after COVID. Anyways, all of my like high school friends were there. All of my like new friends from the music scene were there. My family was there, so it was a
Oh,
good time.
really?
Yeah,
How cool is that? Who's like
it's a
as
lot
far
of
as like your
fun.
mom and dad and all that stuff? Or?
No. So first it was my brother and his girlfriend, but
Okay,
my parents have come down to a gig down here in Miami.
okay,
They actually came when I played at Mode with Elif
okay,
in October,
okay. I was there
and
yesterday.
yeah, how was
Uh,
it's kind
I was
of like
kind
hit or
of.
miss
I ended up
sometimes.
at Space.
Oh really? Last night it was open?
It was open, but then they have break beats or something like
Oh
that.
weird.
But I was like, man, I was like mode, and I was like, that's fine. I guess I can hang out, and I hang out in there for like 2 hours. Start getting drunk. I was like, I guess I go to 11. Screw it. I go to 11. I think it's kind of empty, and I see people going into space, and I'm like, oh shoot,
Damn.
space is open. I walk in. I pay like the entry and everything, and then the terrace is closed. I'm
Really?
like, what?
Oh, so it's just the ground,
Just the
the
ground,
bottom
and they
floor?
have break beats, and I'm like, bro.
Damn.
So I was like, shoot. I mean, luckily it I didn't party that hard, so I'm still.
So you gotta go back tonight.
I'm
Is
gonna
what
go
you're
back tonight for sure. Man. I'll probably go see
Yeah.
Julia, she's coming after you pretty much.
Hmm.
Probably go see her, and then I go to space. So going back to I forgot what was the question I asked you again, man? It was you geek in mode.
Hmm.
What was it, Elif?
Yeah.
You playing opening for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it's
open
one
for
of.
her with Sebastian Duarte.
Okay.
That's like
How do you ended up met him though? How do you got connected with him?
so he actually released on her label as well, and
Okay.
I was like the second or third release on her label back when she launched it. So um, that's pretty much the only way that we knew each other was through her.
Okay.
So
Is she from Miami?
no, she's from Istanbul, but
Okay.
she
Oh,
lives
okay.
in Barcelona, and she comes down here pretty frequently. Like I
Okay.
met her at Music Week a few years back,
Right.
and every time she comes down here, we try and get together and
Sweet,
hang
man.
out. But met Sebastian through her.
Cool, man. Um, what's the one of the most like techie things that you use on your setup or like on a session before, well, not like a production or a track that you
Mm,
say that I'm well so an example Michelle Sparks, she said she collaborated on Native Instruments or some company, I'm not sure, that she had like electronic thing that you touch like a plant and it sends like a wave sound
okay, yeah.
and then did all that and then she captured the sound through the computer, make it into the track. So that was very techy. So obviously, it doesn't have you don't have something like that. It's
Yeah.
hard to compete against something like that.
Definitely nothing like that. If anything,
Use a guitar,
I kind of just mess around with instruments and see like if I can make some like different sound come out of it. Like with a guitar, make it sound like a drum, or
okay,
like with a piano, make it sound like cello or like something different, or pretty much just over process sounds until they don't sound like what they're supposed to sound like.
okay,
If that makes
right. It
sense.
does make sense.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that's pretty much it.
So, how do you find time, bro? Obviously, you have now you're married, you have a kid,
Yeah.
and obviously you have a day job. Do you?
Yeah, now
Yeah.
yeah. So I work and pretty much work 24/7 with the son and being a husband. It's a job, constant job. So I mean, pretty much like whenever I have like I feel like I have a free moment, I'll go into my extra bedroom and just mess around. And I mean, it's not so often nowadays, but like I'll use like 15 minutes on this day, pair it with like 15 minutes on that day, and then like
Dang.
maybe 30 minutes or an hour on the last day, and then I'll like finish the track.
Okay.
So like now it's like a lot more spaced out, which is good and bad because I can like come back with a fresh perspective and like see like what was I thinking there, or like that's like really good, I'll keep going on that, or just like scratch the whole thing completely.
Dang.
Whereas before I would just kind of like go until I was like burnt out. And now I like it because I have more control over like what I want the track to become. Whereas
Gotcha.
before it was kind of just like a
Rush it
flow,
a little bit.
a
Flow.
rush, or it was just like a flow state.
Dang.
Yeah.
Do you ever bring your wife to give you a perspective on the track?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, now for sure more than before.
Okay.
Because, I mean, before I was making a lot more like introspective music, I would
Right.
say, compared to what I'm making now. And she was always more of like a party
Right.
girl, so she likes the tech house and house.
Okay.
So tried to make her a few tech house songs.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
She liked them, but she does like what I show her nowadays. So
Sure. Um, have you had the moment of do you like the track? Well, she always like let's say she comes in. I was like, I don't like that, but deep inside you, like, well, no, I do actually like this way.
yeah, I mean it happens, and like at the end of the day, it's not like she's my wife. Like I love her, and I'll take the opinion
Yeah.
over anyone else's. But like I make the music for me,
Right.
so if I like it, that's all that really matters
Right.
to me.
Right.
So I'll take her opinion, of course, to heart, and like I'll listen to it. But
For
if I
sure.
like it, I'll release it.
For
Like that's
sure.
it.
Are you do you like these 7 tracks that you got ready for the album? Um, do you have a name for him yet, or
Some, yeah. Most of them are just like ID
okay, you
2,
said
ID 3.
D1, D2,
Yeah,
yeah.
something like that until I actually like narrow down a name for the whole
For
project.
sure.
Usually I'm pretty bad with names, so like I'll just wait until the last second when like the label asks me for it, and I'm like, fuck, what do I name it?
Yeah.
Like on air, I'll name it that.
Right.
Like I don't know. I'm
That
bad with names, so just whatever comes to
just do
mind.
whatever comes to mind. Do you when you release your tracks, do you normally are you one of those guys they should because I noticed that so one of the tracks was a Artminding.
Hmm.
That's not released on Beatport, was it? Because I looked that up, I couldn't find it.
It should be.
It should be.
It should be. If it's not, then there's a problem.
Maybe it is then.
Yeah.
Maybe it was not on Instagram because I was trying to find the track on Instagram.
Maybe not. Yeah, I don't think it's on Instagram Music just because that was right when it was starting.
Okay,
but,
okay, I
it
see.
should be on Beatport.
Okay, yeah, no, it is on Beatport. Because I was trying to when I shared the flyer and I was like, man, I can't find the track. So, going back to this, so do you normally, when you have a release date, do you continuously check how it's trending on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like most artists, like you're lying if you say you don't check your streams like every day, especially when it's like that release day.
Yeah,
Like you're kind of just looking at it like constantly to
For
see
sure.
like is it doing well, is it not? I mean, I'll do that for like a week after a release and then it's on to the next.
dang, yeah. Um, do you have like a ritual when you play on a set, like like you put something in like do you wear a specific shirt or like a chain or like a watch?
Not really.
Not really.
Nah,
You
I'll
just
just
show
like
up.
show up, get a beer and play music. The ritual is the beer, I would say.
Is it?
It's breaks the nerves.
It's break the nerve. You
Yeah.
still get nerves?
Yeah, I mean, now I mean they always come and go, but now more so because I've been focusing more on the production,
Right.
and then whenever I do get a chance to DJ, it's like I need to make sure I do well.
For
So
sure.
that beer is really helpful.
Is it really
for
help?
sure.
Yeah. So obviously you're still producing right now. So because you're not leaving completely off producing music. Yeah. Are you?
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no,
That's the goal.
No, it is the goal, yeah. I mean, we'll see how long it takes to get there, but
Right.
that's the end goal for sure.
Yeah. And you heard earlier that was that with Lara.
Yeah.
It took like 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, usually
Well-
they say it takes like what 10,000 hours to master.
Yeah,
a
that's what I
craft.
heard. Yeah, that's right.
So I don't know. I'd say like a maximum at like 3,000 by now.
Okay. Well,
Not
that's
even
good.
close.
Not even close. So, what are you, so since that was my question was like, if you weren't producing or being a DJ, what would you be doing instead? So, what you just
Probably
focus
my
on work?
day job. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been doing marketing
Okay.
since I came out of university. I worked with my dad for a little bit.
Okay.
Now I'm doing my own thing.
Gotcha.
but
Is that like your own firm?
Yeah, like a little small agency.
Okay, that's
We have
cool.
like a few clients, and it just gives us consistent work. So.
Right. Yeah. You know, it's funny because one of my degrees were really associates is a digital marketing.
Oh,
media.
okay, really?
Yeah.
So same field then.
Yeah,
What a coincidence.
that's crazy. So I did that, and then I have one on graphic design, and just a few classes on video editing.
Oh, so
but
we
just
could have
as-
worked together.
We could.
Yeah.
Yeah, something simple stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do need to sharpen my skills too, though. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in on the Instagram pictures.
Okay.
And I'm gonna send it to you here and in a minute through your Instagram. Let's see, bro. Man, I thought I edited the pictures that I was gonna. I know I took him and sent it to you. Okay, so this is one. They're probably not gonna look like I caught them, but I did edit them. I'm editing. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you the picture right now, so you give me context, and then once I edit the video, I'll just put the picture on top or on the side or something.
Okay.
So this one, see if you got it. So pretty much, where was this picture at, and what were you doing there?
So this one was like in South Beach. You can see it's March 30th, which is during Music Week.
Okay.
My brother, his now fiance, and I were just walking to the beach where Rodriguez Jr. was playing a sunset set.
Okay.
And I guess we just saw these trees.
You say
We're a
picture.
bit under the influence and had a little photo shoot in front of them.
Right. What do you think, Rodriguez Jr.? He's good, really good, huh?
He's one of my favorites.
Is it?
I think we've seen him like over 15 times.
Damn. So
And
it is one of your big favorite
every
ones.
time is better than the last. We love his music, and the way that he plays live is just like amazing.
Top notch.
Top notch, yeah.
Does he normally plays with some girl? Is that his wife or?
That's his wife, yeah. So they have like a few tracks together. She's a singer and vocalist,
Right.
and I like their style. They have some cool sounding tracks together.
Right. There's one. Did he did a circle thing? I think he did
I
with her.
think he did like a small like little
Clip?
like 10-minute thing
Okay.
where they sang one or two songs.
Gotcha. I wonder why they only do those. Because I saw another one they did with someone, Saint B. Or
Yeah,
Saint B.
Saint V.
Yeah, and
It's
then
like
it was
in
just-
Tulum, right?
Yeah, and then it was just I mean, so it was not that many minutes. It was 20 minutes or something like that.
It's
I'm
kind of like
what?
a long music video.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's what it sounds now that you're saying. All right. So this other one is, I think this is you playing. I think yeah, this is the other one.
Oh yeah, this is the gig that we had in October at Mode. It's actually Sebastian in this clip, but we played B2B for like an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Okay.
And this was actually like near the end. There's a decent amount of people in there.
Right.
So we had a lot of fun there.
For sure. What was this for? It was
This was we were opening for Elif when she came to town.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yesterday when I was there, I didn't know they had like a was it not rooftop, but was a
Basement.
basement.
Yeah. So that's like the main area where the party is.
Oh, the basement.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because when I walk in and for me, I don't really like the clubs that you open the door and then you walk into the club.
Yeah.
So I open it, I see the moat thing, and I was like, "What the heck this is it?"
Yeah, and
So
it's kind of empty when you walk in on the main floor.
Right.
And you walk downstairs, it's usually pretty packed, but
Yeah.
I don't know, on a Thursday, maybe not.
Right. Yeah. Maybe not. Yeah. And when I texted you yesterday, I was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to party a little bit, but I mean, I was gonna go to Do Not Sit Furniture, but I was like, I'm already on this side of Miami. I don't want to go all the way to South
it's a little bit of a
Beach.
trip to go to South Beach, especially just for Do Not Sit.
Yeah.
If you're already in South Beach, then yeah, why not?
Yeah.
But you have way more options here.
For sure. And this other one, I think this is obviously not you. But this is I get we just talk about.
Yeah, that's when Argy played my track in Beirut. And bro, when I saw this video, I was going like crazy. Yeah, I was like over the moon. I'd say,
for sure, man.
Because it's like I'd say like 10,000 people dancing in this
for
video.
sure. Was it? Is he the biggest one who has to give you support, or what's another name that I missed out?
I'd say it's like him. There's another guy from Afterlife called Ustil.
Oh, still okay. Yeah.
He's been a consistent support.
For sure, man.
Other than that, like Elif, she plays my tracks all the time. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Also, he used to be together with Hake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back in the day, but I guess they got separated.
I remember that.
Yeah. But they used to be when they played together, they used to be played really good. I don't really know what's the deal with duos. That I get after a while, they don't really.
Maybe they get tired of each other or something.
I'm sure because being on the road especially when you're a big DJ like that, being on the road for that many days.
And personalities, I'm sure.
Right.
There's like a bunch of
and especially
stuff.
if you're under the influence a little bit, then you start obviously you start acting different than when they met you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy. And this other one, man, you're gonna this one. How old were you on this one? I think you were pretty young on this one.
Oh yeah. This one I was like 19, 20. This was probably my first like press photo shoot that I did, in my parents' garage.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you so this was your first photo shoot and this is for the Artminding track?
This was like for the Artminding track. They just asked for like some headshots and stuff.
Right, to release
asked my coworker to come over after work with his like backdrop, and he did it for me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What were you pops and moms were saying when you was trying to pursue the music career?
They were honestly very supportive.
Really?
And they still are to this day. I mean, my dad always asks me, like, how's it going? What are you doing to, like, advance it? And I should be doing more, I think.
For sure.
But they're really supportive, and I'm really thankful for that.
For sure.
So
That's good.
thanks, Mom
Shout
and
out
Dad.
to pops and moms.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they'll, because obviously they see that you're, I mean, the people's playing your tracks, you're getting released music and all that. And obviously they know that now you have a baby, so it's a little. How old is your baby?
He's going to be 4 months next week.
4 months.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was maybe a year too.
No, not
Hey.
even.
Bro, I
Yeah.
need to hurry up and have babies. I don't
Yeah.
have nothing.
It's honestly a very rewarding experience. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say there's anything else like it. Maybe having a dog, but no.
I don't know.
Not
I
even
have
close.
I have one now, but I had two. Paco and Clemente. Paco, he passed in November.
Oh, I'm
Now, he didn't
sorry.
pass. I had to put him down because he had cancer on the throat. But somehow it grew so quick that it went to the stomach, to his gut, and everything. And he wasn't eating. Well, he was eating, but only when I cook him like steak and then chicken and all that. So it wasn't not a problem with me. But now I'm on the road more lately, and I'm having to give him to babysit him the dogs to my mom, my brother, or someone. And I took him to the bed, and I was like, "No, well, you can do chemio, but it really only gonna improve his life about maybe 2-3 months.
Yeah.
But we don't really know how bad is he hurting, so I would say just put him down." So I was like, "Damn, I have to put him down. That's crazy."
Sorry.
So
to hear
yeah, I
that.
had him for like 13 years.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's a
man.
long time.
Yeah, 13 years, and then Clemente, he's 14 now.
Wow.
He's my mom. Shout out to Clemente if you listen to this. So, so you know how to play vinyl?
Vinyl? No.
No,
I
it's
can't.
pretty hard though.
It's kind of hard, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried once.
Yeah,
I scratched the record and
Really?
got kicked off the deck, so never tried again.
for sure. Yeah, I was talking to Sarah. Well, yesterday when I talked to Sarah, she that's what she learned. What she said she wanted to be a DJ, and I was like, man, it's weird, so weird because she met someone that was listening to music. He's like, yeah, can you teach me how to play? And he's like, yeah, you gotta be at home this playing with, and all he had was vinyls, and that's how I learned. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
It's kind of like a
It's
dying
like when you
art
start
now.
driving standard.
Yeah.
That's I'm like I don't know how to drive a standard, but when they teaching you start driving standard, it's like that's how I
Yeah.
feel when you vinyl or like digital.
It's pretty much the same, yeah. It's a good analogy.
It's a good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other day I had this. I don't know if you saw the other one episode that I did with my these guys from Techno Tacos Tuesday from Vegas.
I think
Their
so.
analogy was every time you go to a bigger show, they got all these screens because they were at the Sphere, right? And then he said, "Yeah, bro." So I was like, "Yeah, I think my analogy, bro, is like same thing with." It was like, yeah, you go every party now. If you go to the Sphere now, nothing compares to that unless it's something bigger, right? For
Yeah.
sure. My analogy was with the girls, right? So we got this girl, you gotta get something better. So yeah, I think that was not a really good analogy because then my girl got a little upset or something. But then I was all right. I'll stay away from that, man. So are you do you like to sleep or are you like you wake up early? Well, with the baby, you wake up.
Well,
early.
yeah, definitely wake up early.
Yeah.
I mean, was more of a sleep in kind of person until we got a dog.
Okay.
So right around when we found out my wife was pregnant, we went to space for an adoption event,
Okay.
and we ended up
To space? Club space?
club space.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And there was like a 1-month-old pit bull that my wife fell in love with, and we got him. And I've woken up at 6:30 every morning since then. So
Dang.
I'm very used to waking up even before the baby.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried. Well, now I wake up a little earlier now in days. But I was being an early person because my mom, we grew up as my mom. We grew up as like with a single mom, so she was always like the wake up, you got ready this and all that. Yesterday I was at the hotel this morning actually when I was getting ready and everything. I like to watch this funny show. It's more like a clown show. Well, he always make references with the Mexican moms, Hispanic moms. And then she was like, yeah, she wake up late. She wake up late. And he was like, get ready, get your clothes, bring all your books together. And all the fucking books, where's this? So it's like, I guess when it's a single mom, it's like a crazy life. Because
Yeah.
and especially you got two more brothers. You're going back and forth, getting ready and everything. So he will always wake us up like maybe 5 in the morning, because he'll have to get us ready and then take us to the neighbor
Hmm.
so they can pick us up or something. And like we hated it. So, but it's good because she um teach me that I have to wake up early. So now, it's good to wake up early because you're always on time
Yeah,
for everything. You know,
always.
most of the time you always on time for everything.
And you have a lot more time to
And
do
yeah, you
everything
feel
you
more
want.
productive for sure.
Yeah.
So when you play, bro, do you have any like pet peeve during your gig that you feel like, man, these guys or
Sometimes, I mean, in Toronto, this is a like ongoing thing in Toronto. I mean,
yeah.
after COVID, there was a lot of people who started doing like the ooh ooh,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't know. I liked it when we went to like all ages clubs back when we were like 12 years old, but
Yeah.
like when I'm playing, that's like the last thing that I want to hear.
Really.
Yeah, and then it's just like, I don't know.
I feel like you know what? I'm not. I used to be not that guy, but you follow the rhyme, right, with
Hmm.
everyone. We used to use it a lot back in Juarez, when I'm from. Uh, mm, I guess I'm not. I don't want to brag about like only the people from Juarez know when to use the thing,
Yeah.
but there's times that you can use it that goes kind of with the track a little bit, but you can't keep
Sometimes,
going
yeah.
the whole night, or like through some tracks that doesn't make no sense. You just ruin the track or they
Or
buy
like
it for
the
every.
the fan people, the people
Oh,
who
they
fan.
kind of closes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't like that at all.
yeah. The other day when I went to New York, they use it a lot for like those afterlife parties
Hmm.
or the X parties. I remember this is like last year, they were playing and everything, and then it was like a lot of those fans,
In New
and then
York specifically, like at the Mirage, I
yeah, the
swear
Mirage,
it's like they
yes,
sell it out front or
right,
something.
right, right, right.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean, I used to. That's actually the only place that I hear that they use it in a way to rhyme with the track. Uh, I and I guess in some like you're saying some tracks it kind of goes with
Yeah, I
the
mean, if you're doing
vibe.
it on the right beat, like, yeah, sure, here and there it's good, but like right up next to my ear, like off
Yeah.
beat, like 30 times the speed is like,
Yeah, oh shit.
why?
Yeah. That's crazy. So right now when you get on a gig, bro, or like when you well, I guess when you're in the road playing, or when you you get booked to play, is it a track that is always on your USB that you like to play?
Not necessarily. I mean, every gig is pretty different, so I just kind of like try and narrow down what style I'll play,
Uh-huh.
and then I'll kind of build my set list from there. Like it's pretty much always different,
It's pretty much always
so
different.
nothing is always in there, like
Right.
no matter what.
I guess it's in your case they're re-saying on, well, I guess on Lara's in her case it is more like techno, then I guess you always have that option to throw that same track there,
Hmm.
I guess
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking, versus your type of way you play.
it kind of
It,
just like more of like a. I look at my sets as more like a journey
for
that
sure,
like I don't even know where the destination is most
for
of the
sure,
time. So like if I'm focusing on one style for like a few months, then sure I'll play like one song that I know bangs, but mainly it's kind of just taking me where the music will take me.
we ask about the track that you don't have a specific track that you play all the time. You don't even have a track that you don't even have a track that is not released that you keep playing. No, maybe.
Not really. I mean, I have a few like SoundCloud rips that I may have like illegally gotten into my
Okay,
USB that I will play for sure,
for sure.
but they're not like my tracks or like
Okay,
a heavy track that everyone knows. It's more just like subtle.
for sure, man. So you so you drink, right? So before a gig, do you coffee, tea, or like a Red Bull or like a beer? What do you prefer?
It depends on the vibe. I mean, if I'm gonna have a few drinks, probably a Red Bull. If I'm
Right,
going sober, coffee.
right,
But definitely something with energy.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's good. I mean, when I used to do the shows, we used to always get the bottles for the DJ, bottle for myself or like for the crew. And I remember the party started like 11:30 p.m. and by 11:30 p.m. when we started, the full bottle, it was probably like maybe half, or maybe even a little bit less. So yeah, going back to the drink, I used to get so fucked up before the gig, thinking like I was scared that people will not show up to the show, So I was like,
Damn.
damn, huh? So I would just pregame my own self, bro. So it was crazy. So if you had you said you didn't have no rituals, right? You said we asked you that. You
Not
just
really, no.
no, nothing.
Just go there and play.
Got you. So if you describe your music with emojis, or I guess your music with emojis like phone emojis, what would you choose?
Probably the bomb one.
The bomb one?
Yeah,
Okay.
the bomb and the
The
fire.
bomb, the fire.
That's
Yeah.
simple.
I always use the when I say all gas, zero brakes, I put the little gas and the
Yeah.
flame and then the zero thing.
Or just that like Stonehenge face where the guys look like that.
Which one is that?
I don't know, but it's kind of like a dirty bass face. So
Okay,
I'll say
yeah.
that one too. It's like a Stonehenge man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you could, how old are you now? Can you share your age or no?
Yeah, I'm 27.
27.
Yeah.
So is there any advice? Obviously, because you're super young, so this question is more for someone. But if you have some advice that you can give to yourself before, because you start DJing since you were 19, you said?
Yeah, like 2019.
What's the piece of advice you give to yourself then about the music industry or production?
Just focus on yourself. That's it. Stop.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what other people think.
Yeah.
Like, so much time wasted these days on what other people think, and like changing your own perspective or your own sound or style or whatever just to suit like what she's gonna think about or what this
Right.
like label head is gonna think of it, and like what like looking back on it now, especially like the best moments that I had doing this music thing was when I just kind of tuned everyone else out and was just like focusing on my inner voice and
For
like what
sure.
I wanted to get across. So
Yeah.
that's the most
That's the
important.
most
for
important thing. Yeah, bro. It's hard to, because you start listening to anybody, then and you just never make any progress.
Yeah, you never like get better, and you never really like know where you want to go with it. It's
sure.
just like depending on everyone else to tell you what your path is, and that's
Yeah.
not what I want to do in life. So
That's crazy, bro. So is there any what's next for TENVIN, man, in this 2025?
well, I have a few releases coming on my label from other artists, so
Okay, that's cool.
that's something I'm looking forward to.
Dope City coming up in there?
Sorry, Dove
Dope
City
City?
might come out.
How do you met them?
I haven't met them yet. I
Oh,
did
okay.
remix one of their tracks
Right.
last year,
Yeah.
and that's how we met. I mean, we share music back and forth.
Yeah.
We speak here and there. They actually got diapers for my babies, so
Really?
that was nice of them.
That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that's very nice of
That's
them.
very nice.
Shout out
to
Danielle. Yeah,
Danielle and then
and
Josh.
Josh. Yeah, but they're really nice people.
They're really
so
nice.
We're,
Man. You
we're
know
trying to.
Josh background?
Yeah.
He used to do the KSD parties
Mhm.
in Houston, one of the biggest ones, bro. That's crazy. He raps. I think I'm from Houston, but I think that him and the other guy who used to do the shows with him. They put Houston really,
the map?
really in the map for
Nice.
sure by those big names bring him. And then that was weird because it's that when we had it on the pod, they said you can tell that they don't get that much exposure as before. Which I mean they don't really care anyways, but when you deserve that that like the people bring you to the gigs and all that
Mhm.
stuff. But yeah, man, that's
It's just how the industry
that's
is
how the
now.
industry works,
It
man.
sucks, but that's how it is.
It's weird. I wish they were like more cool about it. And I guess before off camera, we were talking about how the industry you have to do like like early like the picture for the social media. I mean, you're not seeking validation, but it's part of your work,
It's
marketing
part
work.
of it now. Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to be like a content
The
creator
content creator,
more
the-
so than just like an artist.
Right. So then, if you don't have the validation of with big names, like right now on this case, right, that I'm bringing like obviously bigger names now and everything. So yeah, I'm getting more recognized, a little validation. So I guess obviously I like it too because otherwise, it's small names. You can tell on the views.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 views
Yeah.
versus when I had Pleasure Craft, back in November, it was 5,000 views.
Mhm.
6,000 views, 7,000 views. So that's how the industry works. It's just I guess obviously you guys are still growing and everything. So I mean, your music is crazy and amazing and everything.
Thanks,
But
bro.
I feel like maybe you don't want to get that much recognition. Well, I don't know, but you should get more for sure.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah, but then that's how industry works. So you haven't really. But I
Yeah.
guess obviously once they see the RG and then playing music, that just takes a few months
Yeah.
to pick up. You saw the difference when he played your track and
Yeah.
weeks later.
I mean, he actually came to space and he was like, I'm gonna play your track, come backstage and like play it. I mean, and video it. So that was like an
I was like,
amazing
that's
experience.
yeah, that's all two videos. The
Yes,
one that
so that one in Beirut was the first one, and then he came to space, and I went there and listened to it, and it was like insane to hear my song on those speakers because
Sure.
I went there so many times. But like having that was really nice, but it's not like what you seek, right?
right
It's just like it is a form of validation, but it's not like why you do it.
for sure.
So
Is there anything else you want me to add, man, that I'm missing out here that I didn't ask about?
not really.
Did I
You're
cover everything?
you're pretty good. You covered a lot of ground here. So
That's good, man. What do you thought about the introduction?
it was good. It was
That was
spot
good.
on. You did
I
well.
messed up a couple of times, but they probably won't know.
They
so-
don't know. No, we cut it out. It's
But
all good.
yeah, man, I did. I was doing a little homework doing the introduction. So 10 minutes. Do you have first name you want to share or no?
Vincent?
What is it?
Vincent.
Vincent.
Yeah.
Okay. So Vincent, thank you so much for stopping by, man,
No problem.
and then
Thanks for
taking the
having me.
time. I appreciate your time. Obviously, you probably have baby. You can be at home taking care of the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably your wife is upset to have to take care of the baby.
Nah, she's chill.
She's chill.
She's
Yeah,
chill.
that's good to find a wife that understands in the industry and everything. Well, or a girlfriend. Yeah, it's hard to find. Not hard to find one, but they always thinking like what right now that I'm on the road, they're like, oh, he's probably chilling and partying and everything, which you are, but it's not what they think sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thank you so much for stopping by, bro. And then, guys, I'm still here, gonna record one more episode. Julia Nico next. We'll see you guys on the next one.